Greetings, this is B Raw Nature of PowerNature.com, and boy is it hot. I hope it's hot where you are. You know, when it's the weather's cold and you're looking for the heat, and when the heat comes you're like, oh man, this is just some heat coming down. So I'm out here enjoying this space, enjoying this environment, enjoying this moment. I hope you are enjoying your moment as you should. That is your purpose and reasoning for being here in the physical, in this time-space continuum. And you know, the thought and the message of freedom, it comes to mind when I think of this day and this you know, this time right now in this moment. I hope everyone can see me. I think so. And you know, the word freedom and what it's truly implying and what it's meaning, you know. So let's just go right into it and just, you know, talk about it. Let's take freedom in two different ways. Let's break it down. Let's break down the word freedom. Free meaning without any restraints, without any hindrances, without anything holding you back, in all of your essence in all forms. And then dome, D-O-M. You could add an E to that, and dome would be mind, mental. So it could very well be said just by looking at the word that freedom is free from within the mind, within a mental sense of being. And that could be seen as very much true. Let's go a little bit deeper with it, because this realm of existence that we're in first exists within our mind, and then it's reflected into our physical realm, into what we see physically. When we think of each individual, everyone is living within their own world. Everyone is living within their own reality. Everyone has their own everyone has their own reality going on. What may be happening for you may not be happening for me, and what's happening for me may not be happening for you, and that goes for each one. So we're all within this dimension, and then within this dimension is different realities going on. Everyone is playing out a different scene. Everyone's playing out something different with themselves. So when we think of freedom in the mind, we have to kind of go deeper and say, okay, what really is freedom in the mind? So let's take freedom on the physical level. You have to really sit back and ask yourself if you're really free. And I could tell you from experience, from going through situations with myself, you're not. I'm gonna tell you right now, you really are not. And you may say, well, what do you mean? You know, I'm not bound up in chains. I'm not, you know, all the other different aspects where you think that physically your body is able to move here and there and go from this place to that place. But as we start off saying, that freedom is also with the mentality. So when we look at freedom physically, you know, I'm trying to keep this in order so that everyone can grasp an understanding of what I'm really speaking and trying to convey, because words can get really mixed up in translation. One way I could be saying it, and then you can receive it in a whole totally different way. Okay, so we look at our time being linear time, meaning day and night, meaning 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, you know, different hours, days of the week. Your days of the week, your days, whether it be July 4th, July 5th, July 18th, July 30th, August 12th, whatever date it is, all of it is governed and all of it is controlled in some way, shape, or form. Well, what do you mean it's controlled in some way, shape, or form? Well, first off, you have it governed by the days of the week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Within those days, you are required in some way, shape, or form to be somewhere, to do something, to have some form of responsibility, to have an obligation. Okay, so what do you mean by that? What I mean by that is, let's take Monday. Monday morning comes around. Let's go by the time, the number on the clock, 8 a.m. You have to clock in. You know, you, all of us, everyone has to clock in to someone's clock to complete whatever work, whatever task it is for that particular day. Whatever type business, whatever type of company, whatever it is that you're obligated to be doing in that moment. So that is controlled. Your freedom is compromised in that way as far as physical time. Then you think about the movement. You're on this great earth plane, which is huge, which is abundant in so many ways, so many places that we don't even know exist, that exist right around us. Well, you're controlled by not being allowed to get into certain places. Try and do it right now. Try to go somewhere random. I'm not talking about the grocery store, I'm not talking about McDonald's, I'm not talking about Walmart. I'm talking about try to go to like a park, an area that's secluded, and look at the many different restrictions that you have. If you're driving, you're controlled by the road, by which direction you're going in and out. You're controlled by parking and limited in the ways that you park. You're controlled by where you can. Well, I'm going to say walking is your only freedom that you're going to have if you're walking on foot. That's something that you have to think about differently. You're controlled what time you can be there. When darkness comes, you so-called can't be in certain places. Just take a look at everything that's around you in every way physically, and the control, the limitations, the regulations, the everything that is placed upon every space that is here on this earth plane. You're controlled by these entities that walk around, that pop up and ask you, what are you doing? Why are you here? Prove to me who you are, even though they're looking right at you, but they want to see who you are on a card. You know, it goes so much, so deep. It goes so deep that it's hard to convey the message on a video, because this video can go on and on and on and on and on and on. That's just the surface level of physical control and constraints on your freedom. Now let's take it to a mental level, which I believe that the way that your physical freedom is compromised and hindered and controlled is coming from what's placed in the mental. If we look at the first Hermetic principle, natural law of nature laws, universal laws, all is mental, meaning it's just starting in the mind. All in the mind. Everything you could trace back goes back to the mind. So if you start to put it in someone's mind that you can't go here, you can't do this, you can only do that, you have to be here at a certain time, you have to pay this, you are follow regulation, follow the rules, follow all that is set for you. If it starts in the mind, then the physical body will follow. So if we go back to saying what is freedom, and if you're truly free, you would have to ask yourself, rather, this freedom is starting off in the mind, because where the mind is leading you is where the body will follow. So we think about freedom of the mind. And we think of being controlled in every way possible. Everything that you see, everything that you hear, everything that you speak about, everything that you allow to come into your vision. All of that plays an aspect and a part on the mind. And all of that will eventually cause you to play it out on the physical level. You see, when we think about your freedom, you have to really, really think, am I really free? Am I free in the mind, or am I controlled in every aspect of my mind, which in turn controls my physical world, controls what I physically see, controls what I physically do, where I go, what I spend my time, what I spend my thoughts on. It goes so deep. It just really does. And you know, I have so much that I love to just share. But as I often share with NEB, is that it can't be shared with everyone because the understanding is so deep. And that once you begin to share with someone, you really just kind of have to keep it on a surface level and kind of keep the thoughts kind of simple, because once you go past simple, it gets a little bit more complex. So I will just end this and leave this thought with you right now in this moment, and think of the word freedom and take it further than some law or regulation or holiday or whatever you want to call it that says that you are free, and take it further and take it back to yourself, because everything goes back to self. The mind is the self. Everything goes back to you. You are the center point of everything. You know, I always say, they try to teach us that you're not the center of the universe, when in fact you are the center of the universe. You are the universe. You, universe. You. Your word you is right there. And ask yourself, how am I free within the mind? How does my freedom play out mentally, which in turn will manifest in my physical world? I'm all about finding your self-sufficiency and expanding the mind, rather it be in your physical world, your mental world, spiritually. I prefer all of them because they all play a part. They're all a part of you. Just a message for the moment. You know, always stay tuned, always giving more. Enjoy your day, your time, your moments.